Every year in fantasy football, there's some breakout candidates. Like last year when Marcus Colston of Hofstra burst onto the scene, or Maurice Jones-Drew and his 15 touchdowns. Or who remembers a few years ago when this guy, Steve Smith of the Carolina Panthers, was the number one wide receiver in fantasy football. This year is no different, and some guys you should target late in your draft for potential breakouts. The quarterback for the Denver Broncos, Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler had 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns in 5 games last year, with the additions of Travis Henry, 1 year removed from knee surgery Javon Walker, and Brandon Marshall and Rod Smith. Jay Cutler has more firepower than any young quarterback in fantasy football. 2 guys at running back that I think potentially will rise onto the scene are Jarius Norwood of the Atlanta Falcons and DeAngelo Williams of the Carolina Panthers. With Warrick Dunn getting old, and Jarius Norwood's potential at the goal line, and we've seen what he could do in the open field with 2 60-yard-plus touchdowns last season, Jarius Norwood is a guy that I would target late in the draft with the potential of being your number 1 running back in the last 8 or 9 games. DeAngelo Williams is in a great situation. Not only does Carolina have a good offensive line, but he's playing behind Deshaun Foster, who's never been able to play a full season. The Carolina Panthers didn't draft DeAngelo Williams in the first round to sit behind Foster forever, and this is a season DeAngelo Williams burst onto the scene. One wide receiver in GameTimeDecisions.net Sleeper of the Year is Vincent Jackson of the San Diego Chargers. Vincent Jackson at 6'5" runs a 4.5 40. The only guy that's measurable is even close is T.O. But this is Vincent Jackson. This is T.O. without the attitude. Vincent Jackson had 3 touchdowns over the last 5 games and might be the number 1 target in San Diego with teams trying to take LaDainian Tomlinson and Antonio Gates out of game plans. The key to fantasy football is find the breakout player, have the guts to hold on to him throughout the season until he rises on the scene. Let's hope that Vincent Jackson, DeAngelo Williams, Jarius Norwood are the next Marcus Colston, Maurice Jones-Drew, and or Steve Smith. This has been Brian Swaff for GameTimeDecisions.net with your breakout players for 2007.